There was a certain man who had a donkey and he wanted to sell it, but the marketplace where he was going to be able to sell the donkey was in a faraway town. So he took his son and the donkey and they all set out on a journey, to get to the town so he could sell it. So all three of them started walking. The donkey was walking, the man was walking, and his son was walking alongside him. And the very first town that he passed, the people there saw him, the donkey walking, the man walking, and the son walking, and they started to laugh, calling him a fool that he literally has a donkey, and yet the donkey is just empty. No one is sitting on it. It's just him and his son. They are just walking. The man felt a little bit embarrassed and thought to himself, you know what, these guys, they're actually right. Like, I do have a donkey. Why am I walking? I could actually be riding a donkey instead. So the man climbed on the donkey and started riding it, and his son was walking alongside him. Then the next time we passed, the people there saw him and they became very disappointed. They called him an irresponsible father, that how could he leave his son to be walking on the ground while he is busy up there enjoying the donkey, riding it, while his son is down there suffering. The man looked at his son and thought of what these people said, and he thought to himself, you know what, they are right. Like, my son is a lot younger than me, so he should be the one on the donkey. So the man came down from the donkey and put his son on the donkey, and they continued their journey. Now when they got to the next town, the people there saw them and were very, very disappointed. They called the son spoilt and disrespectful, that how can he leave his father to be walking while he, that is the son, is the one riding the donkey, that the son is supposed to be the one walking because his father is older, so he's the one that is supposed to be on the donkey. So the man saw this situation and thought to himself, and he didn't like the way they were insulting his son. So he told his son to come down from the donkey. But at this point, the man was confused and didn't know what to do anymore, because pretty much everywhere he passed, the people would always tell him, something was wrong with what he was doing. So he came up with an idea. He took a long stick and tied the donkey to the stick, and he and his son carried the donkey in their hands and continued walking. Now the next town they went to, the people saw them and just burst into laughter. They just started laughing and could not stop laughing. They called the man and his son big fools, that how could they have a donkey and they literally chose to carry it in their hand rather than riding it. They made fun of the man, they laughed at him. So the man got to a bridge, and after this bridge was actually his destination where he was about to go. But unfortunately, because the donkey was very heavy and because they had been walking for long and they were tired, while they were carrying the donkey fell off from their hands and fell into the water, and the water carried the donkey away. The man felt very sad, very disappointed, very aggravated, but he had no choice than to turn back and go back home with his son. So he and his son, they both turned back and went back home. And the funny thing is that the people that were giving them all these suggestions, they didn't care. They just turned around and minded their business, continued living the life they were living. The moral lesson of this story is people are always going to have opinions of you, whether you like it or not. If you look at the story of this man, it didn't matter what he did. If neither him or his son rode the donkey, people laughed at him and called him stupid, that they just had an empty donkey. They were wasting the donkey basically. So he chose to ride the donkey. They still laughed at him, called him a fool, called him an irresponsible father, that he left his son to be walking while he's riding, so he puts his son on the donkey. They also laughed at him, called him, called his son spoilt, that the son climbed the donkey and left the father to be walking. So he then said, okay, nobody should ride the donkey, then let's just carry it. They carried it and they laughed at them, calling them fools. That's why we'll be carrying a donkey. Till eventually the donkey just fell into the water and he lost it all. So the point is that no matter what you do, it doesn't matter, like, whatever you do, no matter how good, no matter how smart, no matter how intelligent, no matter how stupid also, people are always going to have opinions of you. You just have to be fine with that. And this is the exact reason why you should stop caring about others' opinions, you idiots. You shouldn't be listening to every single opinion people have. The annoying thing is that a lot of these people's opinions are not opinions that will benefit you. They just see something, they thought just comes to their head, they just feel something, they just think something and they just say it. They're not giving you information that is valuable, they're not giving you feedback that's actually going to help you. But the thing is that we are humans, and humans, one of the things we crave a lot is, social connection, validation from other people and all that. So as sad as it sounds, it's just how it is. And also, other than that, it's like, to get to some levels, you do need like mentors, you do need advice from people, you do need to hear opinion from people. But the thing is that if you're going to seek anybody's opinion at all, if you're going to seek anybody's advice, you should take advice from people who have gone further ahead of you in the thing you are trying to do. You don't just want to take advice from anybody. You want to take advice from people that have lived the life you want to live, people that have gone through the things you are going through. For example, you might choose not to take advice or finances from your parents. For example, your parents might tell you, maybe get a job or do this type of career or whatever. If you look at their life, their financial situations, and it's not something you desire, which, as painful as it is to admit, a lot of our parents, a lot of the older generation, their financial life isn't something we desire. You are not be like, wow, when I grow up I want to be like that. Then you shouldn't take their advice. But if they are giving you advice on like marriage, they're giving you advice on having children, you should then take the advice, because your parents, I assume, have a successful marriage. Have been married for like what, 20, 30, 40, 50 years now, raised you and your siblings and all that. So if they're giving you advice on marriage, they're giving you advice on children and all that, very valid. If a random person just comes and gives you some marriage advice, maybe it's like, oh, this girl you're dating, she's a gold digger or whatever, and it's just a random person that you don't even know, doesn't really care about you, you should discard the advice. But if it's someone like your brother, someone like your parent, someone that is close to you, and especially if the person has the experience, like maybe the person is married or the person has been in a relationship for a while, then you want to take the advice. The thing is, you want to stop caring about other people's opinions, because people that give their opinion isn't there to help you. So hopefully you enjoyed this story and it taught you some valuable lessons.